Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of The Tutor by Lacey Rice.
When I applied to become a tutor, this is not what I had in mind. When I saw the job posting on the bulletin board, I thought that this was going to be easy. You know, tutor a kid, watch them improve at school, and maybe they will invite you to their graduation party as a thank you. Simple, right? Little did I know that the job was going to be weirder than I could ever imagine. My name is Matt Gilbertson. I am a freshman studying to be an architect at Harmony University. Up until a week ago, I was working at a gas station, minding my own business, just trying to get ahead while working for $10 a month. But one day the gas station unexpectedly closed, leaving my co-workers and me scrambling for new jobs. Without much luck, I decided to head to the campus bulletin board. There, amongst all the help wanted signs, was a sign that said simply, "Help wanted, need great tutors for great pay." Curiosity got the better of me, and I found myself knocking on the door of a small office on the outskirts of campus. All that was on the small white trailer was a sign that said Shadow Learning Solutions in big red letters. Under the sign read their motto, "Unlocking Potential in the Shadows." The door swung open to reveal a lady in her 40s, her eyes sharp and calculating. "Ah, you must be Matt," she said with a mysterious smile. "I'm Professor Eleanor Quinn. Come in, I've been expecting you." The office was plain, just plain white walls with not much in the way of decoration. The only furniture in the room was a cluttered desk covered in papers and a few mismatched chairs. Professor Quinn motioned for me to sit, her piercing gaze never leaving mine. "Mr. Gilbertson, we have a unique job opportunity here," she began, her voice low and measured. "We're not just looking for traditional math tutors. We're seeking individuals with a particular set of skills, and your background might be exactly what we need." I shifted uncomfortably in the chair, wondering what kind of skills an aspiring architect possessed that made me a suitable candidate for a tutoring position. Professor Quinn, as if sensing my confusion, leaned forward, her expression becoming even more intense. "We're not interested in your skills with architecture or anything like that. What we are interested in is your knowledge of United States history, math, English, science, and everything else." "I am good with all subjects," I said, attempting to assert my qualifications. Before I could elaborate further, Professor Quinn cut me off with a knowing smile. "You were the valedictorian in your class in high school." "Yes, I know," she said, revealing the resume I had submitted. The realization that she had meticulously examined my background added an unexpected layer of scrutiny to the situation. "Mr. Gilbertson," she continued, "we are not looking for conventional tutors. Our client base is quite wealthy, and they expect results, and the way we deliver them, well, it's unconventional." "Like what?" I asked, my curiosity now tinged with a touch of apprehension. "Well, before I can tell you, we need to have you fully examined to make sure you qualify for the job." The mention of an examination added an unexpected layer of mystery to the already enigmatic situation. I nodded, willing to go along with the process to unravel the secrets behind Shadow Learning Solutions. "Follow me, Mr. Gilbertson," Professor Quinn said, leading me to a small side room. The room was small with just a computer inside of it. The hum of the machine filled the air as I took a seat, facing a sleek monitor that seemed to hold the next phase of this peculiar job application. "This is a digital assessment to further evaluate your capabilities," Professor Quinn explained, gesturing towards the computer screen. Our methods are unconventional, as I mentioned before, and this will help us gauge your adaptability to our unique approach. I nodded, ready to delve into the unknown once again. The screen flickered to life, displaying a series of interactive modules that covered a broad spectrum of subjects, from complex mathematical problems to historical scenarios and linguistic challenges. Answer each question to the best of your ability. This assessment is designed to measure not just your knowledge but also your problem-solving skills, creativity, and adaptability, Professor Quinn instructed before leaving the room, leaving me to face the digital challenges alone. As I navigated through the assessment, it became apparent that this was no ordinary test. The questions seamlessly integrated multiple subjects, requiring me to draw connections between disparate pieces of information. The digital challenges transcended the boundaries of traditional education, mirroring the unconventional nature of shadow learning solutions. The questions ranged from solving intricate mathematical equations to analyzing historical events and crafting coherent narratives. It was a mental workout that pushed the limits of my thinking, challenging me to approach problems from different angles. As I progressed, the computer seemed to adapt to my responses, tailoring the difficulty of the questions based on my performance. It was an intricate dance between man and machine, a unique blend of technology and education that I hadn't encountered before. After what felt like both a marathon and a sprint of intellectual challenges, I completed the digital assessment. The screen displayed a simple message: assessment complete. Please wait for further instructions. Professor Quinn re-entered the room, her expression unreadable. You've completed the assessment, Mr. Gilbertson. Your results will help us determine your suitability for the role and tailor our approach to your unique strengths. I couldn't help but wonder about the mysterious methods employed by shadow learning solutions. The blending of technology and unconventional teaching had piqued my interest, creating a sense of anticipation for what lay ahead. Your journey with us has just begun, Mr. Gilbertson. If you pass this stage, you'll be part of a team dedicated to unlocking the potential in the shadows of knowledge, Professor Quinn said, her mysterious smile once again taking center stage. The following day, my phone rang, and the voice on the other end informed me that I had successfully passed the digital assessment. A sense of accomplishment mixed with curiosity washed over me as the voice continued with instructions for the next steps. Congratulations, Mr. Gilbertson. Your performance on the assessment has earned you a place in the next phase of our selection process, the voice conveyed, its tone hinting at approval. I was instructed to be present at Shadow Learning Solutions for an in-person interview, the final step before potentially joining their unconventional team of tutors. Excitement and nervous anticipation churned within me as I made my way back to the small white trailer. The interview room felt familiar, and Professor Eleanor Quinn once again took charge of the proceedings. This time, the questions delved deeper into my personality, probing not only my academic knowledge but also my ability to connect with students on a personal level. Mr. Gilbertson, we value not just what you know but how you can impart that knowledge in a way that transforms the student, Professor Quinn explained, her gaze searching for something beyond the surface. The questions took unexpected turns, challenging me to think on my feet and showcase my adaptability. It became evident that the role at Shadow Learning Solutions required more than just academic prowess. It demanded a unique blend of intellect, empathy, and creativity. As the interview neared its end, Professor Quinn leaned forward to look at me. This is the point where I see if you are really ready to come work for us. She spoke. Once we get past this point, there is no going back. I'm ready. I replied with a sense of determination in my voice. Professor Quinn's mysterious smile returned, and she stood, signaling the end of the interview. Very well, Mr. Gilbertson. If you're truly committed, then follow me. Professor Quinn's mysterious smile remained as she led me through a series of corridors within the trailer. The plain walls seemed to conceal the secrets of Shadow Learning Solutions. We arrived at a door marked Initiation Room. The air inside felt charged with anticipation as Professor Quinn opened the door, revealing a room bathed in soft, ambient light. The room was large, and in the middle of the room sat two chairs that almost looked like the chairs at a beauty salon where old ladies would get their hair dried. It even had the large bowl-shaped hair dryers on top of it. Mr. Gilbertson, the initiation process is a crucial step for every tutor at Shadow Learning Solutions. It goes beyond the ordinary and prepares you for the unconventional methods we employ, Professor Quinn explained, her eyes fixed on mine. I entered the room, and the door closed behind me. I think I am going to be perfectly clear when I say this, but what you see here is not to be repeated. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. I said, looking around. The ambient light in the room shifted, casting a warm glow over the mysterious chairs. Professor Quinn gestured for me to take a seat, and as I did, the atmosphere seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy. During this initiation, you will undergo a unique experience that transcends conventional teaching methods. Open your mind to the possibilities, Mr. Gilbertson, Professor Quinn instructed as she activated a small console beside one of the chairs. A gentle vibration filled the air, she then signaled me to sit down in it. I did as I was told, and she walked over to a door and opened it. She whispered something to someone on the other side of the door and an elementary-aged boy walked out. The boy walked over to the other chair and without saying a word, he sat down in the other chair. Both large bowl-shaped hair dryer-looking things automatically came down onto our heads. Mr. Gilbertson, this is my son, Andrew. He will be assisting us with this demonstration. I looked over at the boy who didn't seem to react to me. Let me give you a rundown about what we do here, Professor Quinn said as she walked around the room. We guarantee our customers that we can get their child's grade point average up because we have the technology that allows us to inhabit their child's mind. What? I asked. It will be easier to explain after we complete the procedure, Professor Quinn said. Don't worry, it won't hurt. There was a bright light that filled the room and then I was unconscious.
I woke up a few minutes later. Professor Quinn was standing over me as she waved a small flashlight into my eyes. Mr. Gilbertson, can you hear me? She asked. Yes, I can hear you, I replied, feeling a bit disoriented. But there was something else that was bothering me. I felt strange, like maybe I wasn't myself. The voice I just spoke with diffidently sounded like my voice. Good, the initiation process can be disorienting at first. Take a moment to gather yourself. What's going on? I asked. Why do I feel so weird? But Professor Quinn didn't reply to me. Instead, a voice in my head answered me. It's because you are in my body, the voice said. I was taken aback, my eyes widening in disbelief. The realization hit me like a wave. I wasn't just experiencing the initiation, I was now inside the mind of Professor Quinn's son, Andrew. Panic and confusion surged through me as I grappled with the implications of this unexpected turn of events. What do you mean I'm in your body? I thought, the words echoing in my mind. The voice responded, a strange amalgamation of my thoughts and Andrew's. During the initiation, our minds were connected. You're now sharing my body and experiencing the world through my senses, Andrew explained, his thoughts echoing in my mind. It was a surreal and disconcerting sensation, the boundaries between our individual identities blurred. I attempted to move, to test the limits of this shared experience. It was disorienting, every movement felt unfamiliar, as if I were navigating a body that wasn't my own. I then saw my body where I last was. I was motionless in the seat, still hooked up to the chair. We use this technology to go beyond tutoring the kids. Tutors temporarily inhabit the minds of the students, and we go to class for the kid. We go to their school, we do their schoolwork, homework, and take tests as if we were the student, Professor Quinn said. I struggled to comprehend the gravity of the situation. I, a freshman studying architecture, was now sharing the consciousness of a young boy, experiencing the world through his eyes and thoughts. Is this permanent? I thought, the urgency evident in my mental voice. No, it's temporary. The tutors return to their own bodies after each session, Andrew clarified, a reassurance amid the strangeness of the experience. Professor Quinn gestured for me to follow her, and I reluctantly moved, trying to adjust to the foreign sensations of Andrew's body. As we walked through the corridors of the small white trailer, she explained the intricacies of their unique tutoring process. So can you move your own body? I asked in a thought. No, you are in control. It's like I'm in the back seat of my brain and you're in the driver's seat. Andrew thought back to me. While you're in the child's head, you must only refer to yourself as that child. Professor Quinn said, knowing that her son and I were talking in his head. So, if I ask you what your name is, what do you tell me? That my name is Andrew? I asked. Correct. Professor Quinn said. Andrew has been doing this for a while, so if you have any questions while I'm going over the process, you can ask him. Yup. Andrew thought to me. So, here's just about this place. Professor Quinn said, stopping in the hall. Parents pay us hundreds of thousands of dollars to have their kids excel in school. As Professor Quinn continued her explanation about the machine that just put me in the head of Andrew, I tried to grasp the magnitude of the situation. The technology developed at Harmony University was now at the forefront of a unique tutoring service that went beyond conventional methods. You mean, this whole tutoring thing is done using the device all the time? I asked, my thoughts now a jumble of confusion and curiosity. Yes, that's correct. The device allows tutors to temporarily inhabit the minds of students, facilitating a direct transfer of knowledge and skills, Professor Quinn explained. It's a revolutionary approach to education, and our clients are willing to pay a premium for guaranteed results. I mulled over the implications of this technology. It was both fascinating and unsettling, a convergence of innovation and ethical questions. The line between tutor and student blurred, and the educational landscape shifted into uncharted territory. Your role, Mr. Gilbertson, is to become a part of this unique tutoring process. You'll be assigned different students, and during each session, you'll temporarily inhabit their minds, do their schoolwork, and get a good grade for them. Professor Quinn clarified. My mind swirled with conflicting thoughts and emotions. The revelation that this tutoring service went far beyond conventional methods left me both intrigued and uneasy. The responsibility of essentially living the academic life of another person, even temporarily, weighed heavily on my conscience. So, I become the student during these sessions? I asked, seeking clarification. Exactly. You'll experience their classes, complete their assignments, and take tests on their behalf. It's a unique way to ensure academic success for our clients, Professor Quinn responded. As the realization sank in, I couldn't help but wonder about the ethical implications of this approach. Was it ethical to manipulate the educational experiences of students, even with the intention of improving their academic performance? My internal struggle intensified. Andrew, still present in the back seat of his mind, offered a thought. It's strange at first, but you get used to it. And hey, you are helping these kids succeed, right? The conflicting perspectives within my own mind mirrored the moral dilemma I faced. On one hand, the potential to positively impact the lives of struggling students was undeniable. On the other hand, the invasion of their academic autonomy raised ethical concerns that lingered like a shadow. Professor Quinn continued her explanation, detailing the careful selection process for students and the stringent monitoring to ensure tutors adhered to the program standards. Yet, as she spoke, I couldn't shake the sense that there was more beneath the surface, more complexities and ethical gray areas that remained unexplored. Mr. Gilbertson, you have a unique opportunity to be a part of something groundbreaking. Our methods may be unconventional, but the results speak for themselves, Professor Quinn stated, her gaze fixed on me. I nodded, the weight of the decision settling on my shoulders. The allure of being part of a revolutionary tutoring service clashed with the ethical reservations I harbored. As the initiation process progressed, I found myself on the precipice of a choice that could redefine my path at Harmony University. Tell you what. Professor Quinn said, looking at her watch. Tomorrow is Saturday, how about if you remain in Andrew's body, until tomorrow, that way you can get used to the idea. I'm sure Andrew won't mind. Somehow, I could feel Andrew shrug in our shared mind. Might as well. He said, we can play video games tonight, or something. He thought to me. Are you sure? I asked. Yup, go ahead. Andrew said. All right. I'll stay in Andrew's body until tomorrow. I said out loud for Professor Quinn to hear. Excellent, she said, clapping her hands. The rest of the day was a surreal experience. I followed Andrew's routine, navigating the world through his eyes and thoughts. We played video games, had dinner with Professor Quinn, and even engaged in casual conversations. It was an odd sensation, being a guest in someone else's mind. Andrew helped me answer questions about him that I didn't know. He acted like a librarian in his own mind to teach me things about him so I could relay it, as if I truly was Andrew. So how long do tutors usually stay in their host bodies for? I asked when we were eating dinner. It depends. Professor Quinn said, shrugging. Some of our clients use us for a few hours, some the whole school day, and others keep the tutor in their kids' mind for days. Our record is a year. That long? I asked. Our full-time tutors, they leave everything behind to do that, and the kids' parents will pay anything to have them in their kid's head. I mean, what would you do to have a prodigy for a kid? I pondered the question, realizing the gravity of the demand for academic success and the lengths some parents were willing to go to achieve it. The concept of a tutor essentially living in a student's mind for an extended period raised both ethical and personal considerations. The night passed, and I was awakened by Professor Quinn. I quickly got up from Andrew's bed and went with her to her car. Andrew told me to get into the back seat of the car and I followed his instructions. So, we are headed back to put you back into your own body, Professor Quinn said, looking at me through the rearview mirror. Okay, I said, almost wishing that I could just stay this young a little longer. The car ride back to Shadow Learning Solutions was filled with a strange mix of reflection and anticipation. I couldn't shake the surreal experience of living a day in someone else's mind. As we arrived at the small white trailer, a sense of relief washed over me. The prospect of returning to my own body brought a familiar comfort. In the initiation room, Professor Quinn prepared the reversal process. As she did, Andrew thought spoke to me. Good job being me for the night. Thanks. I thought back to him. The ambient light once again filled the space.
I found myself back in the chair, inside of my own body. The disorientation that accompanied the return was brief, and I felt a mixture of gratitude and curiosity. Welcome back, Mr. Gilbertson, Professor Quinn said, her mysterious smile still present. How was your day in Andrew's shoes? It was unlike anything I've ever experienced, I replied, struggling to articulate the complexity of the day. The ethical questions lingered in my mind, but so did the genuine connection I felt with Andrew during our shared experience. Well, if you're still interested after all that, come to this address tomorrow, I might already have a kid ready for you to tutor. Who? I asked, but Professor Quinn just shook her head. You will find out tomorrow. The next day, armed with a mix of uncertainty and newfound knowledge, I made my way to the new address Professor Quinn had given me. It was in a small strip mall just outside the town, its unassuming exterior belying the unconventional practices within. As I entered, Professor Quinn greeted me with that mysterious smile that seemed to hint at the secrets held by Shadow Learning Solutions. She led me down to the basement of the room where another two chairs sat next to each other. They were like the ones I had encountered during the assessment. The anticipation of the unknown loomed in the air. Mr. Gilbertson, we have a student ready for your unique tutoring experience, Professor Quinn announced, her eyes gleaming with expectation. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the next phase of this extraordinary journey. Before I bring them out, I want to tell you something first. Their father wants a full-time tutor. This means that if you agree, you will be in the kid till the end of the school year. That also means that if I do this, I'll be giving up my college classes too. I said, plus my parents will wonder why they don't see me anymore. We have a plan for that. Professor Quinn said. We will switch all your classes to online. We have a small group that does all the tutors' homework when they are away. Your teachers won't even know the difference. Plus, if your parents call you or want to video chat you, then we can have someone take your body and use it to talk to your parents. And if they come over, you can always return to your body, hang out with them for the day, and then return to your kid's body too. Okay. I said, nodding. I guess I'll do that. Great. Professor Quinn said, now that that's out of the way, meet the kid you're tutoring, meet Lily Thompson, Professor Quinn introduced, gesturing toward a young girl who walked in from a side room. Lily looked up at me with curious eyes, and I could sense a mix of apprehension and hope in her gaze. She kept her hands in the pockets of her shorts as she walked to the chair. Lily here is 10 years old, in the 5th grade at this St. Mary's School for Girls, and she's a girl. I said, I did not mean to interrupt her. She is. Professor Quinn confirmed. Isn't that weird for a college-aged guy to be in a little girl's body? I asked. Here it happens all the time. Professor Quinn said, shrugging. Mr. Gilbertson, in our world, what matters is the knowledge and skills we impart, not the gender or age of the tutor, Professor Quinn explained, her tone firm. Our clients seek results, and we deliver. Lily's parents believe in our methods, and your role is to ensure her academic success. I nodded, understanding that the unique nature of shadow learning solutions transcended conventional norms. Lily sat in the chair next to where I was to sit. I didn't know what to expect. I never really thought about what it would be like to be a girl before. I looked over at Lily, who just looked down at the ground. Her long brown hair fell neatly around her shoulders. I couldn't help but wonder how many times she has done this before. Professor Quinn initiated the process once again.